Hi, welcome to Teacher Start, and today we're going to be looking at whether teachers should be on their doors at the start and the end of a lesson. Now, this is quite a simple video because I am of the stern belief that yes, absolutely, teachers should be on the door, but I want to examine why a teacher wouldn't be on the door and why it's important to be on the door. So, at the start of the lesson, or before the lesson starts, you've got all your stuff prepped, you've got your PowerPoint up, or whatever resources you've got for that lesson all sorted out. When you're inside your classroom, you have absolutely no kind of control over how the students come in. And the most important part of the lesson is the start, because it sets the tone for the whole lesson. If you're standing at your door, you can organise the students as they come in. You can say a nice little comment to each one, or to at least some of them, because sometimes they come in quite in bulk, en masse. But you can actually start the lesson off really nicely by standing by the door and greeting your students and saying, "Oh, you're right. Oh, how was that thing the other day? Oh, I saw your team won at the weekend." Whatever it is, you can have that communication by the door. And it makes it feel like, for the students, it's your classroom. This is my classroom you're entering. And it just sets that feeling. If you're sitting by the desk or sitting in your chair, you don't have that kind of ownership over the room. You're kind of sitting like they are, and it's a different kind of experience. When you go around to someone's house, they're not sitting on the sofa and you kind of have to let yourself in the house. Like, standing on the door just sets the tone that this is your room. Also, when you're standing outside, and imagine all the other teachers are standing outside as well, if you're in a shared corridor, which most classrooms are situated at, then you can help each other out. And if there's an issue in the corridor, instead of one teacher having to deal with all of it, everyone deals with all of it. And you own that department. That department is your department because all the teachers are out there. And it makes such a difference. If you're someone who feels that it probably doesn't make much of a difference, it really, really does. And when all of the team, all of your department are out in the corridors at the start and the end of the lesson, it makes a huge difference. Now, you might think, well, hang on, how are the resources all sorted, and when do I, sort all that stuff out? Well, for classroom books, it's very, very simple. Just throw the classroom books out on the table and students will find them. Instead of having this, I think some teachers put their classrooms on where they're sitting in the classroom, put their books where they're sitting in the classroom. I just would not see the point in that. I don't see the point in that. Students can find their own books. If you just throw them out on the desk, students will find them, and it's dead simple. It takes 2 seconds. Try and think at the end of the previous lesson how you can organise your stuff then. There's a bit of dead time when they're packing up. Perhaps you load the PowerPoint for your next lesson then. You don't have to use that time between the lessons. Being out in the corridor is so, so important, and I think schools are kind of picking up on this and are kind of demanding teachers are out in the corridor, and it's a really, really good thing, and it's something we should all embrace. I think it makes such a difference between, like we had in a previous school, issues with students between lessons, and they would get into arguments or whatever, or they'd be running around or climbing over desks that were out in the corridor. And if everyone's out there, it's not an issue, because if you've got your entire department out there, it's very seldom students will push things that far. I think when everyone's sitting inside their classrooms, students will do what students do outside in the corridor, and they'll rile themselves up, and then they'll come in and bring it into your lesson, when the appropriate place to deal with it is before your lesson, outside the classroom, and so you can keep things calm within your classroom. It's a short video today, but it's really, really important that we all start doing it, and if you do already, then fantastic. And if you don't for a good reason, write down in the comments below, because there could be kind of a blind spot to this, and so please feel free to comment down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more from us, please click subscribe. We release videos every single weekday at 5 o'clock in the evening. Thank you.